right. Welcome everyone. Welcome. It's been quite a long time since I've done a live here, so welcome back. Just welcome back, I guess. That's all I can say for now. Welcome back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live tonight. I know, you guys missed my lives. I know people have been asking me, hey Andrew, when are you gonna do your lives? And this and that. But I've just been pumping out some trades for the CFO Swing Watch members, doing more research, reading a lot more, even more than before, because we're at a critical pivot point. So, I've been just trying to get as much information as possible, and just the usual, providing some good information or videos for you all to learn. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's live stream. And yeah. We'll wait the next around like 3 to 4 minutes for more people to come and people to get more notifications. So bear with me and enjoy the music. so 3 minutes have passed. All right, so if you guys have been looking at my screen, I've been charting this name here, QUOT. This is a name that was, you know, I think one of you guys, well, hopefully he's in here, but he recommended me to go over this name because I think he's looking at it as well. So QUOT is one of those very beaten down names if you go on the weekly time frame, right? Even just on the monthly, that'll be a lot more cleaner here. So it's obviously a very ugly looking chart pattern here, or just overall chart wise, since IPO back in 2014. And I don't really know much about this company, so I don't have any say on the fundamentals side of things. But QUOT, it reacted really well last week, right? Since if you guys didn't know, we've been seeing a lot of buying coming in for the ugly and a lot of selling coming in for the pretty. And that's a common saying in Wall Street, guys, if you guys didn't know. But QUOT, I don't think it has the juice enough juice to continue up higher. I think we come back down on Monday. And where do we come back down? Well, first of all, if you go on the 2-hour time frame, right, we are very much overbought. And when we have such big squeezes on such small cap names and these very ugly looking and very just dog poop, right? It's dog shit companies, right? And the reason why we say it's dog shit companies is that, well, the share price is giving us that dog shit company view and perspective, right? Just by how the share price is reacting over the long over the course of time here. So that's the reason why we call dog shit companies and the growth companies, right? We know which ones are the best. So this is, I could say this is considered one of the dog shit companies that are just going to perform well off of these large bounces and short squeezes. And we've been seeing that, right? We saw an increase in buying volume coming up here last week. And we decided to break above this very, very elongated ascending triangle chart pattern above 2.50. So with that in mind, what level can we pull back to, right? Since I am expecting a pullback. So if I go back to the daily time frame, right, this is an immense breakout, right? No doubt about that. And it seems like we're a spit away from 200 SMA here, right? It looks like we can just spit and go all the way up to and reach this 200 SMA, right? It's very, very close. And if we somehow continue, right, this very overbought short squeeze to the upside, because remember, short squeezes sometimes don't even care if the price is overbought. It can just continue to go up and up and up. I would say we can reach that $4 whole number level, which we also use as level of support and resistance in the past. And we can possibly see a coinciding 200 SMA right at that $4 level too. So, you know, I think this is a very, very low possibility and probability of this happening. But overall, you know, short squeezes, they can be ecstatic, right? It's full of emotion. A lot of people just buying because they see the price moving, you know, exponentially, you know, higher and very, very quickly at that, right? Really high velocity in the price movement. So with QUOT, yeah, I don't know if this has more room and momentum left to continue up higher. I don't know what the news was. I know it had earnings, right? But all I know is that we've had people buying the ugly and selling the pretty, right? So with this one, I think we can pull back to 3.20, right? Or even lower, back to just $3, right? And once we do that, I think we'll be at a pretty good area to see the 10 SMA and the 21 SMA rise up higher. Specifically, if we do come back down to 320, that's going to allow the 10 SMA to eventually come up and basically be caught up with the price. And if we stay and stick around the $3 level, if we aren't able to hold above 320, then the 21 SMA will catch up as well. Okay, and if we do start kind of consolidating around $3, then it'll be a better case. It will give itself a better case to try to move upward and retest the daily 200 SMA. It may not be at $4 here, but we can definitely see that retest of the 200 SMA since we are now above, for the first time, since months of a few months ago, right? We lost the 50 SMA multiple times here, right? So I think it was back in like 2021. Yeah, 2021. So since we lost the daily 50 SMA last year and now we've come back above it again, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very short and shortly lived retest and staying above the daily 50 SMA. But who knows? Like I said, people are buying the ugly and selling the pretty, right? Everyone's attention is going back into these very, very small cap stocks and all the stocks that are looking so beat up and ugly. All right, so as one of the first ones that I want to go over because people, someone has requested it. So hopefully he sees it. All right, I hope you see it, man. But does anyone have any stocks that they want me to go over? So we're going back to our CFO roots here, CFO live streams. So if anyone has any requests, please let me know right now in the comment, well, not the comment section, in the live chat room. All right. I'll be waiting. Man, this boba is good. Or forget to call it boba tea. Oh, GH. Oh, sorry, do nothing. I didn't see that. Oh, not G. Oh, no, G is looking pretty good. So, oh, look at that. Now this one's gonna be a tough one, isn't it? So this one is definitely one of those ugly names here. GH, right? We're back down. We did hit IPO lows and bounce, but I like the fact that we've been consolidating at least, right? But on the daily time frame, okay, last week or yesterday, Friday, we've retested the 50 SMA, went above it, retested the 200 SMA, went above it, and closed above both the 50 and the 200. So that's gonna be pretty hard to stay above both SMAs at the same time, especially after the first retest on both. But I do like the volume here, right? This volume tells me that the price wants to break above the 200 and the 50. All right, we've retested the 200 two times in the past. So this is our third time. And if you're using the data from the past, right, we've known to see that this name has been rejecting the 200 SMA with very, very low volume. So since we have big volume on this name, crossing above and staying above both the 50 and the 200 just means that the tide of momentum can be changing here. So this one's a clear buy for this week for GH if you're looking at this one, do nothing. And I would say look for a pullback to 52 at least minimum, okay? Since that's kind of where the 50 SMA should be hanging around at come Monday. But right now it's around 51.50, a whole number level. And also that's where this level is also currently sitting at as well, somewhere around here. Okay, this is a intraday level probably. But yeah, GH is a good name. I used to watch this name back in, well, near the IPO days here. Right here. So this is a name that I was looking at in the IPO days. So this is a pretty fun one to look at. And if you guys see, okay, guess where I traded this one? I traded right on this breakout, right? It was amazing week here, right? I just held and that's all I did. That's all I did back in 2019. All right, this is one of the easiest trades of that week, literally. All right, just bought here, right, and then just held and held and held, and then held until next week, and then I decided to sell it next week. But obviously, we had a nice, even bigger run up, right? So a huge run up that I didn't get into, didn't get to capitalize on. But I mean, this is huge for what, 3 days, right? 3 day swing trade. So, I mean, there's that. Yeah, so GH used to be a really, really good name to trade, but it seems like it's come back down to the previous IPO lows. So, yeah, so watch that 52. You know, I think this one, maybe, I mean, it's a health name, right? And if you guys didn't know, the big and pretty looking health names, like for example, UNH, right? Last week it sold off, or not last week, yesterday. I keep thinking it's Thursday, or it's a new week. It's Sunday. I keep thinking that's Sunday. So maybe we can see healthcare stocks popping back up again. But like I said, GH is one of those very beaten up names, unlike UNH, where it's been staying near highs. Do nothing. You say I'm looking at 51.58. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good level too. I'm just trying to look for an earlier entry, like 52, if we do bounce. Even though we are a little bit overbought. Look at that. See? So, yeah, 52 would be a good level to retest and bounce off of, but 51.50 that's fine as well. Okay? All right. Anyone else have any more tickers for me to go over before I take a look at the markets and see what happened this week? Man, this boba's good. No? All right. Well, if that's a confirmed no, then I'll go over the market. All right. So for SPY, we had a phenomenal week. I mean, this is amazing, right? But I am worried. Also, guys, don't get too distracted by my levels. These are all the levels that I've drawn on the weekly, the monthly, daily, and the intraday combined. Even though intraday will show you even more, right? But TradingView likes to put on basically the overlap levels on different time frames. That's why it looks so messy. But trust me, all of these levels have some sort of significance on either time frame, on any time frame, right? And all the time frames that I use. So like the 15-minute, right? It has even more, right? So don't get confused. I will point out the ones that I'm looking at. But SPY, what happened this week? Okay, so we saw a flush thanks to Jerome Powell's FOMC meeting and results and conference. And now people have been asking me, hey Andrew, do you think Jerome Powell set that thing on purpose, right? Where he said, we're not going to be cutting back rates anytime soon, right? It's too early to say that, right? It'll be outlandish for us to basically think that it's time for us to start cutting rates, because remember, leading up to the meeting, news articles were floating around. Analysts were saying that maybe Jerome Powell will announce that the Federal Reserve will start cutting back rates, right? And people were very, very hyped up about that. But we didn't get that at all, and we flushed. That's the reason why we had a nice big flush to the downside. And then this week, CPI reading comes in pretty bullish, right? And we've been consistently going down. Remember, the trend is to the downside. And I've been saying this even before we started this, right? This downtrend. I said CPI data will show us a very slow downtrend, a general downtrend. But within that general downtrend, we'll be oscillating back and forth, up and down, up and down. And that's what we've been getting. And we've finally broken below 8.0%. Okay? So you guys heard it here, heard it here first, right? So with CPI basically doing exactly what I predicted there, I still think we're going to be doing that, right? Who knows if the next CPI reading for the month of November, this month, right, which will come out in December, will be a little bit higher than what we got, right? We might even come back and poke above 8.0%, right? Or we might even get 8.1, right? Who knows? But all I'm saying is that the general trend is to the downside, because remember, the FOMC's job is to control inflation, and they are the people to fight inflation. And if you don't believe in the FOMC, well, that's not going to matter, right? They will have an effect on inflation no matter what they do. Okay, so that's the reason why we had such a large reaction, right? We had a 5.50% day, or 20.56 points return on one single day, right? This is a huge move. This day really felt weird to me, right? And I talked to other experienced traders, some other people who've been trading for like 20 years, right? And they said they felt nothing like this before, right? And a lot of us actually underperformed on this day because we're more sensitive to data when it comes in, right? And we know what Federal Reserve Jerome Powell has said, right? And we know what the price can do when it factors in the future, right? It's moving on the perception of the future. So we were kind of hesitant on holding on to long positions because the market will always move in the future perception on how the price on what the future data will give us, right? In the economy and whatever in the markets. So so there's a lot of us who underperformed this thing. And the following day, though, right, on Friday, that was even more interesting because we saw all these batter names, these dog shit names, just absolutely blasting up higher, while names like UNH just flushed, right? We saw a huge flush in all these nice, pretty looking names. For example, CF. So this is the name that we're looking at in the CF Streaming Watch for the entire week, but we got stopped out 2 times now, and these are all names that look really beautiful, right? They're holding their highs. They look like as if they're ready to break up higher, right? Especially if the market starts to reverse, these names will start to reverse with the market, right? That's what we would assume. But we start to see the opposite happening, right? We're seeing the ugly names, the names that we usually don't buy. So people like me with experience, with years of experience, and other people that I know, we're just sitting back and waiting, right, for the pretty names to start moving in the direction with the market. But we didn't see that. We saw the opposite happen. And as I was scanning too, and as my friends were scanning, my colleagues, we just saw these really bad names just blasting up higher and showing these short squeeze type of price action or movement. So this upcoming new week, I think the markets are going to be even more interesting. I think we're going to start pivoting here very soon. Again, we're at a spitting distance from the 200 SMA as well. This is exactly what happened back in the summer rally, right? Except for the summer rally was a lot more cleaner, right? We had a nice up, down, until the trend failed at the 200 SMA. So this is very interesting to see, because if we do somehow continue the movement to the upside this week, right, this upcoming week on Monday, we can actually break above 400, even though 400 is a pretty hard level to get back above. Okay, so we can have a very strong pivot point at 400. So we might see a nice pivot high point coming in on Monday, and we start flushing down, or we can see one more big green day, right? One more big green day until we reach 404. That's right, $404. And once we do that, the 200 SMA should be coinciding with this horizontal price level of $404. And that should leave us with a very nice smackdown of the price. And that'll be an even better point to get a pivot high point, right? A pivot high from the coinciding levels of the 200 SMA and the horizontal resistance level of 404, right? So that is what I have in mind for this upcoming week. And if you guys want to play potential break above 400, you guys should, because what's gonna stop, right? What's gonna stop the markets from pushing up higher after breaking above 400? It's a psychological whole number level, and a bunch of sellers are present at this level, as we've seen right here. But if there's a chance for us to break above 400 and push out sellers, we can have a reaction like this, right? Where we just push out the sellers in 3 moves, right? 3 days. So this could happen, right? On just one day, we just break above 400, and once we do, the momentum starts to pile in, right? The buying momentum. And as the buying momentum comes in, more buying comes in as people are saying, oh, wow, look, the price is above 400 again. And it's been months since we've seen the 400 price, right? Since mid or early September, right? Mid and late August to early September. So it's been quite a while. So they want to see SPY recover above 400. And if you get that momentum rolling on Monday, then we can definitely see a retest of 404 and a retest of the 200 SMA on the daily time frame. Now, the reason why I'm being cautious is that on all the intraday time frames here, like the 2 hour here, like my favorite 2 hour, we are heading to that critical overbought area on the RSI, right? I made this big for you guys because, you know, I want you guys to be able to see this. So the oscillating line here, right? It's at 71.75. So it's above 70, which means, if you guys didn't know, the value of 70 is overbought on the RSI, and the value of 30 is oversold on the RSI. So we're above 70, and that means that we are very, very strong in momentum and in buying, in the buying momentum, but we're also a little bit overbought, and there is a little bit more of an increasing risk to try to long up here, right? If you miss this move here, try not to long up here. It's basically what the RSI is warning us. But regardless of the RSI, right, we had that $400 specific psychological whole number level. And this is a level that will be hard to get past. I would want to believe, right? And I want to observe as well this coming Monday. But if we, like I said, if we just somehow blast through after this constant higher highs and higher lows, I wouldn't have anything to say except just play it, right? Play above 400 and take profits at 404. Simple as that. Okay, so that's what I think. I think the markets have basically, to just give you guys a little summary, that I think the markets have priced in this nice movement to the downside in the CPI data that we got, inflation data, just based off of how we moved on Thursday in pre-market and on Friday combined. So, you know, we can have one more day. That's just how these patterns work, right? With momentum, patterns that have momentum. Just one more day of green like we saw right here. Okay, and then the fourth one should be a nice break to the downside, or nice strong rejection to the downside like we saw right here. So this can happen on the 200 SMA, right? Exactly right here. So if I move this drawing right here, right? So right here, this could happen. This could definitely happen at the 200 SMA. All right. So that's that. Hopefully you guys understood that. If you guys didn't, please ask me questions. I'll be waiting. Hey, do nothing. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for those comments. And I'm glad that I opened up your eyes. So, hey, whoa, I didn't even see the 4 likes. Was that there before the stream started? I think so. I think I saw it and I forgot to mention it. But thank you guys for 4 likes. If you guys haven't liked the video yet, make sure you guys do that. Well, for the people who are watching this recording, but for the people who are on the live stream right now, live, make sure you guys hit that like button below if you guys are liking what I'm saying. But yeah, so you know, the market is going to get even more interesting this upcoming week. You know, we had this very psychological $400 level. I don't really think that we will get too much of a pump because we already saw the volume dying down very quickly after Thursday into Friday, right? I mean, this is a big drop off, right? I would have liked it more maybe around this area here at the volume bar to be around here. So Thursday's volume was at 142 or 141. We'll just say 141. And then the volume dropped down to 93, right? I would have at least appreciated maybe 120 or 100, right? Just 100 million on the daily volume, right? That would have been perfect. But we dropped off a little too much there. That makes me worry about this rally, right? And a lot of indicators are telling me, you know, with RSI, you know, MACD or stochastics, whatever it may be, I think it gives me just confidence that I know that we are at this psychological $400 level, and I don't have to rely on just the RSI, even though RSI does help me, well, it assists me, right? It's a very great tool, right? It's a tool of assistance. And I think people should use it since it's one of the more reliable indicators that don't really give you such contradictory signals. If you guys know what I mean. Do nothing. You said, do you only use RSI? Yeah. So I try to stick with RSI mainly, which I do. But if I feel like it, I mean, if I want to see some other indicators, I'll look at it. Right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think that you should rely on it too much, even just the RSI as well. Right? That's the reason why I don't look at it every single day on the RSI. I just look at it when I need to, right? And when I want to. So it's a need and a want thing. Need or want. That's what I would say it is, right? So SPY again, $400 level, very critical. If we break above it, we go to 404, retest the daily 200 SMA, and then come back down. Very simple, okay? But if we don't try to break above 400, then we smack back down, allow the 10 and 21 SMAs to catch up, right? We're now just seeing the 10 starting to basically pivot higher here and curve upward, and we just had the 21 SMA cross above the 50 SMA, right? So this is bullish, right? Overall, we're in a bullish trend, but there is that chance that we just smack back down once we retest 400 exactly at this level and come all the way back down to fill in the gap that we made between Wednesday and Thursday, since we haven't. Okay, and remember, SPY loves to fill in gaps. That is the one thing that SPY always does, and one thing that we can 100% guarantee on for happening to happen excuse me, to happen on SPY here, right? So it's one of those things that I can be 100% on SPY. It will happen, okay? So in order for us to see a gap fill to happen on this, right, you know what that means, right? We have to go back down, guys. We have to go back down. And that can be in the next few coming weeks, maybe next week, right? If we see very, very large movements to the downside, and I don't know what could be the catalyst. Maybe the start of World War III, who knows? Maybe China invades Taiwan. Maybe Russia drops a nuke on Ukraine in the Kyrgyzstan region. That's the reason why they pulled back in that region, right? Kyrgyzstan. So who knows? I'm still waiting for that black swan moment of that World War III happening, because we have literally set up the theater around the globe to literally, if one thing sets off, then everything will explode, okay? And we'll be in the Third World War. And that's what I could see happening for the markets, right? If a World War III starts, we'll definitely see the markets initially tanking, right? We'll see them tank hard, all right? Okay, So that's it for tonight. I am crossing that 35-minute mark. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments. I don't know why my voice is going away again, but if you guys are new here and watching the live stream, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you really liked the information, make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that you guys know that I am live when I am live. And also when I upload as well. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Have a great rest of your night. I will be uploading a video very soon tonight on a specific trade that we did, a swing trade that gave us a nice triple-digit return. So make sure you guys watch that video, comment on it, like it, and always remember to subscribe if you guys aren't. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for watching.